This is Shuttle launch control. Astronaut Duke Kidd from Shuttle training aircraft. He can evaluate the actual weather conditions around the runway. Definitely waiting for his report before we commit to launch this morning.
I think that people become addicted. They go back time and again to watch them, you know. The people who live down there get up at all hours of the day or night when there's a bird about to go. You know, all the cars stop and watch it go.
The observance, it's almost like people going to watch the king bathe.
It is kind of a religion. I mean, it's like people are watching human beings leave the Earth. And it's a process that they want to be a part of.
It's kind of like our Super Bowl day. And we're all hoping and praying and a little bit nervous. You have a little bit more butterflies. You're looking people in the eye that's worked with you. Everybody's scanning what they did over the last 90 days.
Launch Director Bob Seek has just had another conversation with the launch weather officer. There is still a possibility that we will have a launch today.
Not a 747 with wings out there tied to those rocket motors. And when everything's right, we'll launch.
It's disappointing when you don't get one off the ground. You really want to get one off the ground. And we're real happy when it's just the weather, because that's out of our control. We know we did our job right.
Okay, let's go buy some ladders.
If in the first couple of minutes something goes wrong, where you can jettison the fuel tanks, jettison the solid rockets, and try to fly back for an emergency landing at the Cape. And you certainly don't want cloud cover over the landing strip under those conditions.
Our forecast is still no-go due to crosswinds. OBS have seen peaks up to 20 knots on the crosswind.
Bob, I support their decision, and we've exceeded the crew on back time by a few minutes already, and let's recycle for tomorrow.
And that's all happening at the LCC over here at the Launch Control Center.
Give you a go.
Nice try, everybody, and our recycle for tomorrow will be to hit a 7:05. Local time, beginning of the window, 11:05 GMT.
That's it, guys. That's the business. That's the business we're in.
When it scrubs,
Hello, my friend.
I know it sounds selfish, but there's a lot of work to do for a scrub turnaround for 24 hours.
What we'll do right now is we'll head back into the suit-up room, and we'll de-suit them, and then the work begins. We've got about 6 more hours of work, and then it's off to get some sleep and turn and burn for tomorrow morning.
See you next time.
Copy. KSC area is clear for launch. Copy.
And word that the blast danger area has been cleared of all personnel for the launch this morning. Still targeting 7:05 for our liftoff time.
Yeah, it's clearing up nicely.
Now checking the flight controls of Endeavour. Final check before liftoff of the rudder and elevons. We'll be checking the main engines.
You want to do it again?
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Goes back.
Okay, and remember, walk out this way. Go that way, huh? Okay.
Hej alle KTV-seere. Dagens videopostkort for USA er faktisk lidt specielt i dag, for jeg står her ved Cape Kennedy.
T-minus 5 minutes.
TLS is go for orbiter APU start. TLT, OTC, perform APU start.
Work in space.
Good work.
Kevin Chilton now flipping 3 switches in the cockpit to start each of the 3 APUs.
Oh, Black College Union.
T-minus 1 minute. Now turning off the joint heaters on the solid rocket boosters.
Done with this is laid it out.
TLS is go for auto sequence start.
Endeavour's computers now controlling.
10. TLS is go for main engine start.
7, 6, main engine start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Endeavour, observing the changes of planet Earth.
Endeavour speed now 1,000 miles an hour, 5 miles downrange.
Endeavour, go with throttle up. Roger, go with throttle up.
Altitude 9 miles. 3 engines now back at full throttle.
Look at that shadow.
Altitude now 15 miles. Speed 2,100 miles an hour, 15 miles east of the launch pad. Flight controllers standing by for burnout and jettison of the twin solid rockets. Good solid rocket booster separation confirmed. Endeavour now 33 miles northeast of the launch pad. Altitude 30 miles. Speed 2,700 miles an hour.
Endeavour, performance nominal. Copy, performance nominal.
That means now if it loses one engine, it can still make it to Africa.
Speed now 13,600 miles an hour. 600 miles northeast of the Kennedy Space Center.
5,000 miles an hour to go. Hauls ass in the last.
Your speed 16,400 miles an hour.
Yeah, you gained like 3,000 right there.
3,000. Present to MECO.
The longest 18 minutes in the world that exist from T-9 until main engine shut off. And it's almost hard to breathe during that period of time.
Booster officer confirms the good cutoff of the main engine.
All right. Yes. All right. We're there. Congratulations. Slow. Good job on the engine, buddy.
Nice job.
Good job, Neil.
Yeah.
Hey, nice job.
Good job, buddy.
We're up there. Everything's uphill, we call it.
You work for months, 2 or 3 months on an orbiter to get it ready, and when the engines light up, it fires off the pad. It's just like you feel it right in your gut. It's absolutely perfect. It's beautiful.
Couldn't be better. I mean, everything worked. No fits, funnies, fails, or falls. Hey, JB.
Well, it's a tradition at least, and when you got something working for you, don't change it. He's homed in on your beams here.
Manned access to space, we feel, is on our shoulders. It has to be damn near perfect every time because we can't tolerate a failure. We can't tolerate it. It's a zero-tolerance program.
And I think everybody in NASA realizes that, and no one wants to make the small incremental mistake that puts the space shuttle at risk, not only again for the human tragedy, but also for the enormous political consequences. So this is an agency that lives in fear of making a little mistake and that grinds the wheels to a halt.
I think it is time for the American public to fish or cut bait. Either it wants to go to space or it doesn't. And if it does decide to go to space and it wants to keep people in space, then I think it's got to grow up. And it's got to decide that you take your hits. You pay for this with blood and treasure.
Should we crawl into a cave and assume the prenatal position and say, oh God, I'm so worried about launching a shuttle? NASA cannot live in fear. I tell our people to take risks, do everything possible to make it as safe as possible, but we will not stop flying. We've got to go to the boundary. Now, if America decides if we have a problem to cancel a program because we've lost that ability to take risk, I cry for America, not for NASA.